It is the shadow of a brilliant figure, a black flame that remains unwavering, a flame that never burns. It is a birth with an end, a beginning and an end, the gaze of a statue trapping an eternal moment. The deeper the silence, thicker than the night, sinks into the depths of consciousness, the more the soul begins to question its own form. The unburnt flame is a concept that goes beyond combustion and refuses even willful combustion. The intersection of heaven and earth. The symbol is subdued yet shimmering, and beyond the hyperbola of life and death, it simply exists. Its outline is nothing but a sharpened emptiness. Whenever the black flame flickers, light rather fades and time freezes. A sublime order continues to burn without burning down. Black is not a color, but a phenomenon. A multi-dimensional texture of countless spatio-temporal fragments of silence. The critical point where convergence and diffusion intertwine at the depths of the eyes that look up. It stirs only within the blackness. It is a flame that dwells at the end of repose, the form of a fire that never burns. Everyone knows it, but no one can put it into words. When we reach for this flame, our souls are tested to their true nature. Silence was burning. Behind the idol of silence, a black flame flickers. The flame never heats up, only continues to erode the contours of the world. Lurking in the ashes of words and memory, or as fragments of the future, the invisible order of time feared the fire. But now the flame is quenched, and in being quenched, it spreads. It does not burn the throat, it does not scorch the skin. It only shakes the dark depths of existence. It is a black non-existence that does not know how to burn itself out, like the shadow of a thought, deceiving even its own contours. We look up at the symbol between the crumbling logic. It is immovable, the starting point of transformation. It is the whisper of the unspoken that leaks from the navel of existence, or seeps out from the space-time that time once conceived. The symbolism transcends words. Even under the gaze of the viewer, it sinks into the depths of silence in an unchanging form. The silence is not nothingness. At the bottom of the serenity, a black flame is shaking. It burns but does not burn. It is a light within the darkness, that which transcends form because it has no form. Those who look up try to understand. At that moment, the flame is diverted. Like smoke rising into the sky, a black flame lurks in the silence. It is not destruction, it is not creation. It is a concept that precedes the arrival of words, something that burns at the point where time converges. The black flame is the paradox of combustion, the triumph of destruction. The gaze asks where it is, but the response is lighter than ashes, a formless gravity that defies words. It is the wildness that lives in a cage, the spark of the black day that contains the frenzy. It is not the raging tongue of the crimson, but the black flame of stillness. It burns without sound, without heat, just shimmering as if enveloping emptiness. It is just there. And by continuing to burn, it questions its own meaning. It is a fire at the end of thought, at the critical point where existence surpasses oneself and the self returns to nothingness. One stands still in front of this flame. It is the reverberation of existence that drifts between clarity and chaos, where one is not even allowed to discern whether the flame is burning or has burned out. If it is another name for tranquility and calm, this flame is the crystal of contradiction. But if calmness is not the opposite of inner rage, but the very expanse that contains them, then this flame is a symbol, as the only sight that the soul of the one who reaches the end of contemplation can see. The black flame does not speak, does not insist, but simply continues to burn. The eyes of those who look up to it reflect all the answers. The black flame licks the horizon of events, but rather it is the end of color, which is perceived at the end when vision exceeds its limits. If perception burns with the phenomenon, flickers, and dissipates without taking form, there is no solid being. When the threshold of sensation is exceeded, touch loses heat, sight loses form, and hearing converges on silence. It is either the intellect, after the structure of perception has already collapsed, that can know, or the lingering presence that wavers at the boundary between sensation and memory of pure thought that transcends even the senses. It is nothing less than witnessing the moment when the skeleton of ontology collapses without a sound. Is the scattering there, or is it no longer even a form of being, and burns out at the same time its critical point? It stands at the extreme point of existence. It has not sunk into darkness, without even a sign of collapse, without the form of combustion.